Alright guys, so right now we're doing another car. We just finished doing the rotors on the Yukon. Now we got this little Infiniti that is shaking, so it has a misfire, so we gotta do a tune-up on it. So I already took out the little cover right there, and these were the easy ones, so I'm just gonna knock them out real quick. And then for the back one, as you can see, is either taking the whole manifold off or splitting it here in the middle. So I'm gonna see if I could just split it in the middle and kind of avoid having to, rip apart the whole top end. If it's possible, I'm gonna try to split it. As if you can see here, it has like 4 bolts. That one's gonna be probably the trickiest one, but yeah, I'm gonna try to split it there and try to save myself some time trying to do this one. So let's do this ones over here. So we got 10s. We're gonna take the plugs out, the coils off, and then we got the spark plug underneath. We're gonna replace everything, and then we gotta do that one. So we gotta take the intake off, and then start working our way up to there to see what it is that we need to take off. That way we can make that happen. So alright, stay tuned. Be right back with a little update. Alright guys, so that was 5 minutes. We put new plugs and new coils in there. This is what they look like. One of them, it was pretty wet, so hopefully an injector is not stuck open, but we'll find out soon enough. So now we gotta remove the intake, the filter, and try to see if we can get to that section there so we can rip that apart and change that side. Alright, keep you posted. Alright, so we got a couple of screws. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and then we got 8 and another 8 here. We got this plug. We're gonna unplug it. We're gonna take all this off. We got this little hose here that we gotta release, that clamp, and then we should be able to remove this section here. Unplug this one. Oh, and for this one on the bottom, on the front ones, these wires are in the center, so we have to unplug these ones to be able to take that one out without trying to break anything. So we did that. Now let me remove this section here and keep on seeing what we need to take off. Alright, keep it tuned. Alright, so now that's out of the way, right there. Probably gonna take the throttle body off, just to be able to make some room. So throttle body, and I think it has some other hoses in the back of it, so we'll find out what it's all about. We got this vacuum hose here. We have this other hose back here, and the 4 bolts there. So see how we make this one happen. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so here we are. I loosen up this hose here, which it goes right there, and then there's a bracket. See this bracket here? You have to loosen up the 2 bolts on the bottom, and then these 2 bolts here that they hold up right here, and they are 12mm bolts. What I used was a long 12mm, this half extension, and the shorty one, to be able to get to the 1 bolt here on the bottom. That was probably the hardest one, and this one on this side. So you take those 2 off, and then now I just got to remove this right here so I can get access to the one coil there, which the bolt of it is kind of like underneath this intake manifold. So hopefully I don't have to keep on disassembling to take this off to be able to get that one bolt out. So let's pray. But as of now, I can do the other two and then see what I can do on that one last bolt. Alright, keep it tuned. Alright guys, so there wasn't a way for me to take that one bolt out, so we gotta remove this section now. We got the two plugs here, we got the two little hoses here, the rubber hose. This one has a 10 mil here, this one has a 12, this one right here has a 12 right there, this one has a 10 on this side, this one here has a 10, and then 12, 12, 12. So if I'm correct, I should be able to pull this off, but of course you have to loosen up from this little bracket here. Somebody was here in the past and didn't put a clamp on. They put the clamp on the metal instead of the hose. So that's that. So I should be able to pull this off. There we go. Alrighty. So now we can get that one bolt out and then we can put it all back together. So yeah, didn't want to get to it, but I did have to do it. See, sometimes when you're trying to be fast or lazy, this is what happens. You have to take your time. If not, you're just gonna work double the time. So let me replace that one, put the new coils in there. Always try to cover the holes, that way you don't get anything in there that could potentially damage anything. So let's cover the holes so we don't damage anything. Alright, so let me get that one done, put it all back together, and then try to start to assemble everything back together. Alright, keep it tuned. Alright guys, upon removal of the last coil, this is what I found. The coil full of oil. That means that this helmet here, the gasket, that's gonna be full of oil in there. So that's why we got a misfire problem. So that seal, that cover is bad. So yeah, let me take the plug out and see how bad it is, and then let you guys know. Alright guys, so now I put everything back together. We're still gonna put most of the stuff off, but this part here, I put it back together to this one outside, that way it won't be such a hard time to get to the bottom ones. So now I just gotta get the two bolts on top there, and then one on the bottom. I gotta clamp down these hoses here, clamp those down, put the plugs in, the two little hose. This sensor goes right there, this one goes right there, and then there's two little hoses that go here. So let me get this done and I'll get right back. Alright guys, so everything here is put back together. That sensor is put back together, throttle body, the 4 bolts in the back are put back together. So all I'm missing now is that bracket and the intake box. So let me put that back on and give it a start. So we're almost there guys, almost there. Alright guys, so everything is back together. No extra bolts, no extra nuts, nothing extra. The only thing we're missing is just the cover here, which is over there. So I'm gonna give it a crank, start it up. It's going to smoke a little bit because of that oil that went into the cylinder, but it should clear it up pretty quick. And yeah, the misfire should be gone. Alright, so let me get it running. Let me put that coil back on, and then I'll give you the last update.